We are back on the record at 2:57.
I'm going to go through, sir, I'm going to go through a couple of items that you purchased and see if I can get some information from you regarding those items. According to Exhibit ET 747 in our case, we don't have to pull them out. I'm not going to make everyone an exhibit. You spent $3,297 at Sammy's Camera. Do you know what you bought at Sammy's Camera? What did you buy?
I got the Edge, the GoPro's camera. I don't remember how many, 3 or 4. I bought cases for the cameras. I bought a camera that was $20-something, $2,500, something like that, $2,200. It was a camera that takes pictures and video at the same time. So yeah, I can get those bills to you one from Sammy's.
Yeah, we have the bills.
Okay.
And did you get permission from Ms. Terrio to buy those things in advance?
Of course, we were having conversations, Mrs.
You answered it.
Yes.
In writing?
Again, we were having conversations, Mr.
In writing?
Yes, sir.
You got them in writing?
Yes.
Okay. Can I see a copy of it?
Sure, you can see copies of that.
Okay, you'll supply that to your counsel, right?
Yes.
Okay. And where are those cameras now?
She took them.
Okay. And you spent $4,600 on computer supplies at Platinum Micro. You remember doing that?
Platinum Micro?
Yeah, Platinum Micro. Doesn't ring a bell with you?
Platinum Micro. Do you have the address? By any chance? Is it on Lancashire? Studio City?
Pull it up. You don't remember what you purchased?
I bought the hard drives on Lancashire, and it was probably around that, 38, 4,000, something like that.
Okay. And where did you purchase the CPUs?
I think about them there, too.
You think you bought those there also?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Ms. Terrio was familiar with these purchases before you made them?
She was familiar with that we needed the equipment, because the line producer in Mexico, Bertis, was telling us via emails what I needed to purchase for production.
Did you spend some money on clothes at Nordstrom's and Macy's?
No, I bought, all I bought was a suitcase for traveling that I told Mrs. Stewart. I said, I don't have any suitcase to bring some of the equipment. I have to take it out of the boxes and put it on a suitcase. And she goes, well, go buy a small suitcase, whatever. So I went and purchased a suitcase. I don't know, it was $200, $300, something like that. I can get the bill, too. That's not a problem.
And, well, we have the bill, but
Okay.
you didn't spend the money at Nordstrom and Macy's on clothing. It was on a suitcase.
It was a suitcase, yes.
Okay. What hotel did you stay in Campeche?
Casa Don Gustavo.
And where did the rest of the crew stay?
They stayed at Hotel Plaza Campeche, I believe.
Okay. Why did you stay at a different hotel than the rest of the crew?
Well, one, they didn't have any more rooms available. I wanted my crew to have the rooms, and I had about 25 rooms, something like that, 22. I'm not sure, because they had the hotel was completely booked. So they said, we have the rooms for your crew, but we don't have an extra room for you. Then later, they told me they did have an extra room, but I had already booked at the hotel, 2 blocks away from there. It was a small little hotel.
Okay, but didn't you think it was a good idea to be at the same hotel as the crew?
It wasn't whether I think it was a good idea or not. They just didn't have a room for me.
Well, but then they did have a room for you.
Well,
right?
later, yeah, they did. But I had already give them, I have already reserved the room at the other hotel, and if I cancel, they were going to charge me anyways. So
which hotel were you at?
Hotel Casa Don Gustavo.
Okay. And did you book a room for Ramon Carrasco at Hotel Don
No.
Gustavo?
No, sir.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. And who else stayed? Were there other rooms that were booked for other people at the hotel where you were staying?
Yes, sir. My assistants, Maritza had a room right there also.
Both assistants or one assistant?
One assistant had a room.
Okay, so one assistant you booked at a room with you at your hotel, and the other one stayed with the crew?
No, the other one had a house in Campeche. The other one lives in Campeche.
And why didn't the assistant stay with the crew?
Because she was my personal assistant. I needed her to be there. She was doing letters, communicating with officials, you know, so I needed her close to me.
On April 13th, we've already gone over the email. On April 13th, you wrote the email stopping production on the documentary. April 13th, 2012. And then on April 15th, you accused Miss Terrio of embezzling $75,000 from R&E's account, correct?
It was 80,000.
Okay. And how did she embezzle that amount?
If you look at the provision in the contract, it says, it clearly stipulates that all financial decisions, they have to be made mutually. Everything has to be, on the financial aspect, has to be, we have to approve it, both. So what she did, she removed the entire money out of that account and transferred to her personal account twice. The first time she tried it, the first time she did it, it didn't go through. I know because I spoke to the FBI and I spoke to the bank, the officials at the bank.
You spoke to the FBI?
Yes, I did. I made a report that she took the money, and the FBI says, send me the contract. I said, well, the bank has the operating agreement. The bank has a copy. So the FBI says, we need to call the bank and investigate that operating agreement, and they did.
So you reported when she took the $75,000,
The $80,000.
$80,000 out of the account,
Yes.
which she had deposited into the account.
It doesn't matter. The
Second,
contract
and
says that she can't remove any money without my approval.
After you had terminated all of the crew and said the production was stopped, and 2 days later she therefore removed the money, you then went to the FBI and reported her for embezzling money?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you reported her to the bank for embezzling money as well, didn't you?
Because she took the money the first night when we got to Campeche. I went on my computer and I saw the activity. And at that point, she hadn't indicated to me yet that she was gonna dump me and steal the movie, but I saw the activity. I said, this is a strange. She's trying to take all the money now.
Okay.
So I called the bank, and I said, I noticed an illegal activity on my account.
What date was this?
That was Friday night, Friday at 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, when I was on the computer and I saw mysterious activity on the bank account. So I informed the bank. I said, she can't remove this money because look at the operating agreement. She never conferred to me. She never even told me she was going to take the money out of the account. The bank says, well, this is a fraudulent activity, so we're going to shut this down for now, and I'm going to pass it to the FBI so you can make a report. So I told them.
What bank is this?
Chase.
And who did you speak to?
I don't remember, sir. It's 2 or 3 goddamn o'clock in the morning, so how do I remember? So just transfer me to an officer, an investigator at the FBI. I said, I'm stranded in Mexico, and my partner just removed all this money out of the account. Do you have the operating agreement? I said, I do have it with me, and the bank has it also. Oh, well, we're gonna go and check the operating agreement at the bank, and they did. They asked the bank for a copy of the operating agreement. They called me back. They said, she didn't tell you she was gonna remove the money. I said, no. I was okay. So
your testimony is you went on the computer.
Yeah.
And prior to you terminating production terminating the production, she removed the money.
Yes.
Okay. And what did the FBI ever do?
The FBI says, do you have an attorney? I said, we have attorneys, yes, for the company. And they said, well, I think it's working for the company, not for you or her, but do you have a personal attorney? I said, no. He goes, well, you're going to have to talk to them because we checked the operating agreement and it's for your attorney to handle. But we noted that the report was made, and that was it.
And they've never done anything about it, as far as you know?
No. As far as